Ayahuasca is a very potent medicine. It's an incredibly potent natural plant medicine. And I spoke a little bit briefly earlier on a physical component associated with it and a mental component and this extraordinary aspect of it. And the first thing that ayahuasca does on a chemical level is that it helps cleanse your body. Your body cleanses of lots of different kinds of toxins. And it also cleanses natural effect in the brain, in the synapse itself with your neurotransmitters that helps rebalance your serotonin and your own receptivity to your own neurotransmitters, which are very important to how you think and how you feel and how you process information in your brain. So there's a cleansing component that is natural to drinking ayahuasca and just letting it work. And so when you go into an ayahuasca healing treatment, you drink ayahuasca typically in the evenings, and it lasts for 4 to 8 hours, and then it wears off naturally. And over the course of 3 days, you process the half-life of ayahuasca within your body. And at the end of that third day, you see the results of it. And so that's very much on the physical plane. At the same time that happens, a natural shift in your body takes place, which it makes you very sensitive and very aware of your energy and of your senses. And when that happens, you become very sensitive to frequency and the resonance of sound and smell and the energy that is around you. And in that state of sensitivity, you'll go through a process of releasing energy that is creating within you illness. And you ultimately come to both a state of consciousness, a vibrational state within you that is in its own right healing. And it's a little abstract to speak about it that way. It's easier to say what happens for people. And what happens during that part of the process is that places where they feel really blocked in their mind are freed. So they're in the experience and all of a sudden they're freed. Places where they feel cut off from their heart is freed, and all of a sudden their heart is very present in their awareness. Where people are blocked from their emotional states and their feeling states, all of a sudden turn back on. Where people are dissociating and not aware of their body in space-time, all of a sudden their nervous system rebalances and it turns back on, and they can feel their feet and feel their hands again. So this corporal reset starts to take place. And I think that's fascinating, especially around the part of being able to feel and being able to sense the nature of your own love that comes through your heart. Because when we become mentally dominant and very mentally dominant, we often cease to feel the nature of that love in our heart. And when that's present in our awareness, it's very balancing and very stabilizing for us. While people go through that process, they're very lucid and they're very aware. It is not like being drunk or drugged. You're hyper aware of your sensitivity and your own thoughts. And in that, people will experience, as they confront different blockages within themselves or different obstacles, aspects of unresolved psychological process. So some people call that trauma. Some people call that subconscious. Some people call it shadow. There's a lot of words for this, but it's the underdeveloped, underprocessed aspect of our psychological states get confronted. And many people will awaken to memories that they've forgotten that were pivotal, to trauma that is stored in the body from illness and injury, trauma from abuse, and different kinds of just difficult states of going through life. And sometimes it's not as acute as that. Sometimes it's just processing what it's been like to be alive, going from the best to the worst of what it's been like for you to live that. And so there's this psychological component, and deep healing takes place for people during that time. The traumas are released, and when they're released forever. It's not a temporary solution. They're something that is resolved within somebody. And there's a kind of liberation and a great release of energy after that, and then a balancing and restabilization that takes place. And so people find that to be also incredibly healing. And then there's an aspect of the plant medicine in the forest, which starts to tap into that supernatural. And people express that there's direct intervention from that other that is transcendent for them and healing for them. And I find that fascinating because these are rational people who have never had these experiences before, come out of the experience and speaking very rationally. They can say that they saw something come into their vision, whether it be a plant or an animal or even something else. Sometimes it comes from mythology and religions, like somebody will speak about an angel or something like that. But this idea of from other, there is an intervention to their state, to their mental state or physical state, and that it produced healing and well-being. And they can give an accurate depiction of what happened and how it happened and how they felt before and after it. And so those are all the ways that we know ayahuasca is part of a medicine practice and how it heals.